AITA for losing my temper at SIL after she ruined the meal I made? My SIL, Ashley, is, for lack of a nicer word, obnoxious. She constantly does whatever she wants, even when you ask her not to. She thinks she's right above everyone else, even when she's dead wrong. And she's just got this very stereotypical baby sister attitude where she acts like she can do whatever she wants and nobody is allowed to be mad at her because she's baby. Quote, yes, that's something she regularly says. My husband says she's the youngest of their family, so her acting that way is normal. But I pointed out I'm the youngest of my family and I've never acted that way. I don't like SIL, but I've been polite and kept a peaceful relationship for my husband's sake. Until today. Today was the first time since 2019 that my husband or I have been able to see our small friend group in person. We all got our shots 2 months ago and decided to meet up finally for dinner. I cooked while our friends either pitched in ingredients, made appetizers, or brought wine. I made pasta ravioli by hand, which was hard. I made enough for me, Hubs, and our friends. But after they arrived and we all caught up while I was finishing the food, SIL showed up. She let herself in and greeted everyone happily. They know her and said hi. But I subtly asked Hubs what she was doing here. Turns out he'd mentioned the gathering to her and he guessed she assumed she was invited. I told him to tell her to leave, because she can't just invite herself like this. He said that would be humiliating for her and asked if she could stay. I was annoyed but agreed. Things were fine at the start. I had a few sips of wine to relax and was about to plate everyone's food at the kitchen island and bring it to them, but forgot Parmesan, so went to get it. I heard SIL say she'd help bring the food to the table. I said no thanks and to stay seated. My back was to her and she said something I missed because of the loud clang of a pot hitting the floor. I heard everyone gasp and I closed my eyes. I knew what happened but didn't want to look. When I did, I just started crying. Hours of work splattered on the floor. SIL said it was okay. It was just some pasta. I'll buy more. I lost it. I called her a stupid bitch that ruined the entire dinner because she refuses to listen. She started boo-hooing and I told her to shut up and leave. She ran out crying and I sat down to cry too. Our friends consoled me and Hubs tried to say I went too far, but our friends told him he was an asshole and SIL was in the wrong. They helped clean and we ordered pizza. But after they left, Hubs and I were flooded with calls from his family saying I was a horrible, spoiled brat who made their baby cry over some stupid food. Now I'm just crying and feeling like garbage. Did I go too far? I don't usually get so angry or curse. AITA? Edit. Hubs said he understands I'm upset the food was wasted, but he doesn't think my outburst was warranted and was actually kind of extreme. Tomorrow is his off day and I told him he's going to be making the dish like I did, by hand and on his own, and then at the end we'll see if he thinks my outburst was unwarranted. NTA. You told her you didn't want help. She wasn't even invited. As a chef who understands the work behind ravioli, I'm personally heartbroken for you. That shit takes time. Made their baby cry? She needs a serious wake-up call, and if she cried over it, then good. She needs to get some consequences. My kid sister is the youngest and she's mature, thoughtful, and courteous. There's no reason for SIL to be doing this. NTA. NTA. Your husband is kinda garbage. Sorry. NTA. You overreacted in a moment of high temper. But she inserted herself into a dinner uninvited, disregarded the hostess's wishes, and then downplayed her disaster. You had every right to be upset. And she decided to then turn the family against you. She's ta. NTA. Honestly, I know different people would have different opinions on this, and I'm not sure if you would value my opinion cause I'm only 15. But I figured that I would still say it as an outsider's perspective. Your sister-in-law seems super spoiled, entitled and greedy. You were just trying to make a nice meal for your invited guests and she shouldn't have shown up like that. She should also be more careful with your house and your stuff, to be honest. Like, those clumsy stuff shouldn't really happen, especially when you aren't invited. I'm so sorry, girl. I hope you feel better. NTA. Offer to apologize after she comes over and cooks that recipe from scratch for you. Absolutely NTA. Fresh made pasta, especially ravioli, is hard to make but insanely delicious. Her ruining that is mortal culinary sin, and she deserved to be massively yelled at. She is going to be in for a rude awakening in life as her generation ages and a younger batch of kids comes around. That baby attitude won't fly at all. No. NTA. They are doing what they have always done and cater to her. You already said that is what they do. Trust your friends. They are taking logical upside view. It's time consuming. Hard effort to make ravioli by hand. Fuck her. NTA. Also. Info. How old is SIL? If her family is still calling her baby, she's gonna remain the baby. NTA. Bad enough she invited herself, but didn't listen to the homeowner when directed to stay the fuck out of the kitchen. You don't just insist on helping when told no. In case anyone here didn't know, if someone declines your help, it means they do not want you in their way. And that's the nicest way they can say it. I don't care if it was frozen ravioli. I'd be pissed. Like, this brat is seriously going to come up in someone's house and trash the whole dinner? No. She doesn't get to cry. Apologize and get the hell out. Thing about babies is that they grow up. Ashley priding herself and invoking that she's the baby shows she refuses to emotionally mature on point of principle. NTA. You've handmade ravioli. I don't know how that family doesn't get how hard that is. Anyway, even if you made ice chips, she wasn't invited. She ruined dinner and then acted like a victim. And your husband needs to man up. NTA. This incident was the straw that broke the camel's back. I've made stuffed ravioli a few thousand times and it's always difficult and expensive. It's not just pasta. It's hours and hours of planning, prep and work that she completely dismissed like it didn't matter. Like you don't matter. That was on top of her barging in when she wasn't invited. Frankly, I think she got off light. And so did your husband. He really needs a reality check. His sister's behavior is not normal and has nothing to do with her being the youngest. Enough is enough. NTA. You've got a bigger issue than your SIL, and that is a husband problem. A marriage where a partner puts the needs, wants of others before their partner is not sustainable. You guys need to have a serious talk and more than likely therapy. NTA. She came over uninvited. She interfered in your kitchen after she asked you not to. She ruined a supper you had clearly spent a lot of time on, and then made light of it. Personally, I think she did it accidentally on purpose. I don't think you overreacted under the circumstances. You need to get your husband on side to limit her access. E.g., she's not to come over unless specifically invited. You will not invite her. He needs to supervise her if she's in your home. Do you have children? Plan to have children? You might need to be careful letting her be around them. Info. How old is SIL? Also, In an Italian household, I believe destroying handmade pasta is a capital offense. Definitely NTA. I don't blame you for losing your temper with her. I'm glad your friends were supportive. Please stand your ground with his family. Though. Bro, if she going act like a baby, treat her like a baby. I have known some children and some adults that you learn fast their help ends up badly or more work for you. So in those cases I have tried to stop the help before it happens, sometimes too late. No idea if you SIL is one of those good intentions that go badly. But you leave me to think she isn't one to bestow good intentions too much. Hubby needs to learn not to mention plans in the future with her when she isn't part of the plan. Gotta wonder a bit if she would purposely do such to look like an accident. Maybe your husband needs to know ahead of time it's his responsibility to keep her away from your stove. Whatever. Assure she stays seated. And I wouldn't blame you if every time she shows up that you remind her you do not want her help or anybody else's unless you ask for it. That way if anything happens then say you would then only be able to be mad at yourself. Pretty much hubby can keep her out of your hair. If she wants to make it up to you, give her the recipe and ask her to make it to see she can't just buy some more. Share with everyone she stopped from eating any. Okay, that may be rude too. But it is a good thought to imagine. NTA hubby's family are though toxic enablers, every single one of them.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.